Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Sandeep.
Hi, sir.
Uh, can you start with a bit of your introduction?
Okay. So, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Sandeep Sani, and I'm from Odisha, currently in Bangalore. And I completed my graduation from Silicon Institute of Technology, Sambalpur, with computer science. And during my BTech days, I worked upon a research paper named as IoT enabled greenhouse automation, and later that published paper was published with Taylor and Francis publication. My technical skills are native iOS development with Swift and UI kit, and basic web development with HTML, CSS, and React. Basic HTML, CSS, and React. And apart from my work, I'm a hobbyist musician. I play piano and I like to compose music. And that's all from my
Yeah.
side. Thank you.
Good to know. So, currently you're in your last year of BTech.
No, I graduated last year, 24 batch.
Okay. So, do you have any?
Sorry, sir.
हाँ. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Hi. So, do you have any proficiency in Swift? Do you have any projects?
Yeah, I worked with a project. It was a basic gym application.
Okay. So, what all did you use?
What I've used the UI kit.
Okay.
That's built upon UI kit, and I've used some APIs to get some information about like that app contains the exercises and food recipes. So to get the recipes from the database, I use some APIs, and to catch images, to get images, I use a package called Kingfisher.
Okay. All good. So all good. So let us start with few questions, right?
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Can you list some differences between structures and classes?
Sure. Uh, in Swift, the structures are a value type and classes are reference type. That means, uh, and the second difference is with using structures, uh, inheritance is not possible. But if you want inheritance, we can use classes. Classes provide inheritance, and when we are using classes, so the reference count get increases. But when we use step, we don't have any reference count. That's some basic differences I know.
Okay. What is the reference?
Um, a variable that can contains our custom class object.
Okay. Works. Okay. Do you know about closures?
Yes.
Please elaborate.
So closures are self-contained blocks that do a certain things, and that are anonymous. Means they doesn't have any name. That can be used to pass as an argument to the another function.
Okay.
Closure.
So when I mark a closure with escaping, right? What do I mean to achieve with that particular keyword?
So when we mark a closure with escaping, we basically wants to outlive the function life cycle. So we want that the function doesn't shouldn't return before the closure is not completed the execution.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about non-escaping?
So in non-escaping, the function return before the life of the closure. That is
Okay.
non-escapable. It is by default when we pass a function, the closure is by default non-escaping.
Okay. Okay. And you told me about reference counts, right?
Yeah.
So what is the significance of reference counts? Like, why do you care about reference count so much?
So basically, when we come to the mobile world, that mobile has a limited resource, right? Limited RAM and limited memory, and we don't want that. This we want that the memory is utilized efficiently. So we that's why we care. So suppose there are 10 references, okay, and
Mhm.
the references are is in not use, but we are or despite of that we are still keeping these references. So the references are in not use, but we are still keeping. So that's not memory efficient. The app will become slow. So it's better to remove this unused references from the memory, and that is why we care. Because we are limited with the resources in mobile devices.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, oops. Okay. Right. Now you told me about retain cycles, right?
Yes.
So how do you prevent those retain cycles from happening in the code?
So we can use weak keyword to prevent the return cycle.
Okay. Any other way?
And we can either use a weak keyword, or if we are inside the closure, we can uh, use weak self or unknown. That's
Okay.
unknown.
What is the difference between weak and unknown?
Um, this one I don't know. Can you please explain what's the difference between?
Okay. All right. So basically, both weak and unknown are used to break the retain cycles. But in
Yes,
case of unowned, you need to make sure that there is an existing reference,
existing reference.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it cannot be nil. Yourself cannot be
Okay.
nil in that case, right? In case of weak, yeah, we are not sure if currently you have a self or not, right? If the controller is already out of memory or something. So usually that's why our first action is using weak, right? Because see, we are not sure at any point of code that होगा ही होगा, है ना?
Okay.
So that's one point, right?
Yeah.
And okay, all right. Do you know what heaps?
Sorry.
Do you know what heaps?
Heaps. Heaps are the memory areas where objects live. Am I right?
Yeah, it is a data structure, right?
Yes. Yes.
So what does it do?
Uh, they contain the objects we create. That's all I know. That's what I know.
Mhm.
When we
I
create
mean
a
stacks.
object,
Yes, stacks
yeah,
also do the same, na? Stacks as well. Hello.
yeah, hello.
Yeah, yeah. Stacks also do the same. They contain the objects. So, do you know any basic differences between stacks and heaps?
Stack stack worked in the FIFO order. First in uh, last in first out. Stack worked in the so when we enter a data, the data comes to the top, and when we want to retrieve it, it gets retrieved to the top. So that is
Okay.
stack. And in heap, uh, that is like that is for um, the thing I can remind is there is something called the functionality that mean heap and max heap. So kind of sorting things. If you want to sort objects like that.
Okay. So,
Remember,
so can you guess a bit why would we use heaps to store classes? Any normal guess?
why we use heaps to store classes.
Yeah. You gave a point yourself, right? Min max heaps. right?
Yes.
Yes, so that is a hint why you can use classes.
Mm, I don't know actually. Can you
Oh,
give me some insights?
sure. So basically, what heaps do, heaps allocate non-similar bytes of memory, right?
Non-similar.
You get my point. So yeah, so basically, in case of arrays, in case of integers, all the blocks of code have same size and they're continuous order. है ना?
Continuous in nature. Continuous.
Yeah. Yes, they're continuous in nature, right? So similar size, continuous location, right? But in case of heaps, it is something of on-demand memory allocation. So some
Okay.
class tells me that, all right, I only need 10 kilobytes of data, right? So he will give them only 10 kilobytes of storage, right? If another instance of that class needs only 5 KB, then he will bring out a 5 KB, right? And they're not continuous in location, right? So why it is necessary? In case of classes, many times it happens that you don't know the exact size it needs, right?
Right.
Because it might contain inheritance, right?
Yes.
Some runtime operations are needed, right? To
Yeah.
do that. So many times runtime allocation also happens, right? So that's the reason you need heaps for classes.
So basically, that is dynamic in nature.
Exactly. Yes. That's for heaps. Yeah, you told me, right? Min and max heaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I,
so
I've
why would
read
you
about
need?
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So why would you need min and max? Because they are different sizes in nature, right? That's why there is a concept of min or max ordering.
Got it.
Right. Okay. Let me give you a small DSA question. Right. So let me write it out. The messages. Yeah. Yeah. Are you able to see the question and call messages?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, you have to check if a given string contains any non-repeating character. So for example, take my name, Anurag, right? So does it contain any repeating character? Yes. A contains two times, right? A repeats, right? So you have to basically write an algorithm which just tells you that given input string is repeating or not.
Okay.
Mhm.
So should I share my screen or should I explain the algorithm?
Yeah, you can share a screen and first you can go on with the algorithm. Then you can write.
Screen is visible.
Mhm.
Uh, I can use any programming language, right?
Uh, Ideally, you should use it, right?
Can I use Java?
Okay. But first, can you go through the pseudocode or algorithm which you would use?
Algorithm. what we can do, we can use hashing here. So we can create an array of integer,
Okay.
and then we should loop through the we can loop through the string, and if and suppose there is we will continuously compare. Okay, and if there is any repetition in the element, so we can increase the counter in the hash array. We can use that. We can try that.
Okay, so you're basically saying you will keep a hash of character and the count.
The count.
Okay, okay. All right. You can start writing. Sandeep, you can just print a simple true or false if it contains any repeating character. No need for all these zeros.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's working for non-repeating characters. Okay, but when the character is repeating, so I'm getting an error.
Oh, it was not. Yeah, can you revert it to single R? Single R. Yeah. Can you start once? False. It should be true now because A comes twice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Here
Actually,
also should be true.
this is uppercase, right? Maybe this.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you should convert everything into lowercase or uppercase accordingly, right?
Yes.
Input can be in any format. Yeah. Still, it is giving false.
Greater than 0. Greater than zero means it's repeating.
Yeah,
If not, then can break.
it
Break
should be
for
greater than one, right? Greater than one, because every
mm,
character will come at least once.
it's
It should not come more than one. Till it is no worries. Sandeep, your algorithm was right. You will basically create a hash map, right? And for every character you encounter in the string, you will keep a count, right?
yes,
And
yes,
then whichever character is more than one times, then it is repeating, right?
yes, yes,
If every
yes,
character is coming only one time, then it is not repeating.
yes,
Algorithm was right. But yes, again, like it was a Swift interview, right? So at least you should have tried the Swift once, right? No worries. Your algorithm was fine. Any more questions?
from my side.
Yeah,
So I like to ask that if I get selected, so what tech and what product we're going to work on.
all right. So this is basically fintech, right? Uh, have
Yes.
you gone through our app or website, anything?
Yeah, I read the uh, LinkedIn page of the Kiwi. It's a
Yeah.
financial
So
services.
yeah, right. Financial services. So we basically provide you with a credit card, right? And you can
Mm,
also do payments on our app, like you do on Google Pay, Phone Pay, right? So there are basically two verticals, two main verticals. And
mm,
in our iOS team, there are four members currently, and you will be working on Swift UI migration, right?
mm.
So have you
Yes.
worked on Swift UI before?
Yes, I have worked on software. Like
Oh, okay,
majorly,
okay,
I have worked with UI kit, but less in software.
okay. That's okay. So here we got both kind of modules, right?
Mm,
But if you come, then you'll be working on software part majorly, right? And the architecture we use is MVVM, Model View Model, right? So that's about it. Any more questions?
uh, what is your experience there? How much time you have
Okay.
worked with the company?
Okay. With the
How,
company, I'm close to 1 year.
so what is the
Okay.
experience like learning curve, all that?
Yeah. See, with any startup, right? You get a lot of learning experience. You get to create dynamic modules, right? You get to play around with your separate architectures or design you want to work around with, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you will get to learn a lot if you come here. Like again, it's a fintech, right? You get to know about the
Mm,
compliances. You got to know about the challenges you face on day-to-day basis in payments. So yeah,
okay, sir, got it.
all right. Anything else?
No, sir, I got the answer.
All right. Okay. So our HR will get back to you, right?
Okay,
If
okay,
anything
sir.
happens, right? All
Yes.
right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.